One.
Hello, Joey Reese here from Team Waynesville. I am running for town mayor in Waynesville. I'm here with Peggy Hanna, Representative Mark Pless, and Stephanie Sutton. Recently, there was a meeting on the courthouse lawn where Mark Pless, our elected representative from Haywood County, informed us that if the town of Waynesville had asked for funding, they would have received it for the sewer system. Now, there's been lots of stuff said about this, lots of stories started. So Paul Harvey, the old radio commentator, had a saying, and I'll use it now. So here is the rest of the story.
Is that my opportunity to kind of explain?
That's your cue.
Okay. Joey, if you wouldn't care, that the email that's there, it makes a statement at the first part of it about the validity. Can you read the newspaper's take on whether I'm truthful or not?
It says, and this was an email that we received from someone that had written an article into the Mountaineer, and the article was rejected because they said that it was not true. We have covered the Waynesville sewer system developments closely over the years, and the truth is the town did apply for grants. At the time, Waynesville wasn't considered distressed, so the grant application was denied. It is unfortunate that elected officials that should know what they are talking about are spreading misinformation. Hopefully, it is by mistake and not intentional. That said, if we would like to
Deal with it all the time is they're taking the statement that was made and they're changing it to where they can oppose the statement. There was never a mention of a grant. No one said anything about the town of Waynesville, whether they applied for grants or whether they did not. If they want to talk about grants, something they do need to understand is Waynesville did apply for grants under Rob Heights several years ago. They were denied. They were told they were not distressed enough. So, if anybody's seen the apartments on Block Creek and the apartments that are on Russ Avenue and now the ones that are going to be going up on the other side of town, that's why you have them, is because until you break your water system enough, you don't qualify for grants. So what they have done is they've spun it to say, oh, that's not true. That's not something that is real. We have followed that. That's not the statement that I made. The statement I made was, I live 10 miles from here. They did not pick up the phone and call me and say, hey, Mark, can we talk to you about getting an appropriation for water and sewer because our people need some help. They chose to do this path. The reference I made to the town of Canton is Zeb Smathers and the town board and the town manager and anybody who thought that they could get it done has spoken to me and asked me if I can get them money for a new wastewater treatment facility, which is $38 million. The other statement was Madison County, the towns of Marshall and Mars Hill needed a connection in water and sewer. We did one appropriation for $14 million. We have done another appropriation to finish out that project with. That all stemmed under Democrat-controlled boards. The towns are still Democrat-controlled. The county, since then, has gone to Republican-controlled. The last one is Hot Springs, and I brought that up. Hot Springs is a Democrat-controlled board, and Hot Springs requested $1 million because they needed to do something with their sewer system, and they received $1 million. This is not grants. This is picking up the phone and calling Mark Pless and saying, hey, can you help us with water and sewer money? So if you sit down and you break out everything I've done in 3 years, oh, wait, back up one more time. The town of Clyde asked for $1.2 million in water and sewer money in the 2021 budget, and they also received it, which is a 100% Democrat board. So far in 3 years, $72.2 million just in water and sewer has come into Haywood County and Madison County because my Democrat boards, there are no Republican majority boards, my Democrat boards called me and said, hey, we need some help, can you help us? They're trying to spin it in a way so that they can say, oh, that's a lie.
And Mark, doesn't this stress all of us? Does this not stress the importance of, as an elected official, being able to put aside partisan politics and partisan ideology and cultivate a relationship with your elected representatives in Raleigh? That's the way the sausage is made. Representative Pless is respected by his peers. That's the way line item things are funded. It's they call it pork barrel and stuff. That's what it is. It's not grants. It's free money from the budget that North Carolina taxpayers paid into that budget. And thankfully, most of our area gets some. We did not.
The sad part is grants have qualifications, and you have to satisfy those qualifications, and you compete against every other town in the state of North Carolina that is also trying to do something for theirs. We appropriate a large amount of money into that, and that is a competitive grant system. The system that we are using right now for the $72.2 million is a phone call. It's not a competitive grant, and it is not anything that I would not have worked on if they had simply picked up the phone and said, hey, we need help with our water system. They're just not gonna do that. Now, they did drive to Raleigh on the partisan election bill, made a huge deal out of it, called the newspaper before they left to let everyone know that they were down there in Raleigh protesting partisan elections. They could have went and talked to the budget chairs and said, hey, can we see if we can get some money? Didn't do that because they had one agenda, and that was me. They didn't call Mike Clampett, representative that used to represent Haywood County, and asked to see him. They did not call Mark Pless. They didn't come by my office. They came down for one purpose and one purpose only. They wasted the town's time, money, and efforts to push back against something that didn't happen anyway, instead of having their hand out and saying, would you please help us? That's not the leadership you need in the town of Waynesville. That's not the leadership any town needs. You need folks that are willing to work across the aisle. I was pushed back on for that whenever I ran, but I have worked across the aisle in everything that I have done, and I have not one time turned down a request because of a party affiliation.
So when I do think I remember reading in the email exchange that Joey referenced earlier that you had been contacted by phone by a couple of the current Waynesville Town Council members. So you're saying that you were not. I just want to clarify that.
That is true. I have never been called on the phone and asked for water and sewer money. There was a request that was emailed to me by Rob Heights for $500,000. And he asked for money to resurface where they are rebuilding the facility on 209 because they could not get some heavy equipment in there that they needed to. I was unable to get that funding, but they never asked for money to do water and sewer at any point and any time. Email, phone call, and quite frankly, everyone should know this, they don't call me. If they did, this wouldn't be being talked about right now. They've made it very clear where they stand in regards to me. A phone call is not going to be something they do.
Hello everyone, this is Peggy Hanna coming to you live. I asked Mark Pless to come here and clear this up tonight. Mark is a lot like me, or I'm a lot like him. We're both pretty outspoken. And we have tried to keep this campaign fairly clean. But I'm telling you, it's getting nasty and it shouldn't be. So the first thing I want to say is there's a little magnet here that says Land of the Free. Think about that for a second. The next one says, only you can prevent socialism. Now, I know there's going to be a lot get their knickers in a wad, but you know that's okay. If you live in the town of Waynesville and you haven't voted, I want you to think about one thing, people. Do you want to be governed or do you want to be controlled? That's the main issue that's going on. We want to govern you and help you and be the voice for the people. Otherwise, you vote for control and you're going to get more of what you've got. And as far as spreading misinformation, if it is about the many times I spoke out about the crime stats, funny thing is, I got those crime stats from the Waynesville Police Department. I still have them. So if I was spreading misinformation then it came from the Waynesville Police Department. Okay? If I'm spreading misinformation about the homeless and the vagrants and the criminal activity that was and still is going down, now it has slacked some, absolutely, then I guess it's because I have eyes and I can see. Evidently, there's not many of us in Haywood County to hear the other side tell it. I'm a little bit irritated that there's a few in the town of Waynesville that want to take a good morning and twist it around and call it hate and fear-mongering. If y'all think I'm doing that, then don't vote for me. If you're happy with what you've got, go vote for him. But if you're not, you better show up and you better let your voice speak. Because if you look back, you see what you've got, I promise you, you're only going to get more of it.
Nothing to add?
I'll just add that the agenda was not, our agenda is the people's agenda, and no matter what stats say, that's not what people think. That's not their impression. The two main topics we heard from everyone we talked to were overbuilding and the homelessness and crime. That's the two that everyone, we didn't solicit those. We didn't mention them. We asked them, what are your concerns? And that was overwhelmingly the first two. So the topics we bring up, the things we're fighting for, are the things that people tell us that they want to fight for. And so as Paul Harvey would say, and there's the rest of the story.
I do have something I want to add. I have been slammed because I was not at the Mountaineer Forum, and that I was scared to be there and I didn't have no reason, and that the public deserve better than me not being there. Let me tell y'all something. Number one, I have a very close family member that was recently diagnosed with cancer, and I was with them out of state when the forum was going on. But I said from day one, when I decided to run, that I would take my campaign door to door and that I would not deal with the media in any way. I stand behind it. If you want to talk to me, contact me. I'm out at the Senior Resource Center tomorrow and 6 days next week. If you read it in the paper and you believe it, that's your choice. Thank you.
I want to add one thing. Yeah, okay. The only thing that I really want to add to what's already been said is, the sitting council wants to act like that we have, not put ourselves out there to the public, and nothing could be further from the truth. We've gone door to door. We've been at the Haywood County Fair. Each day it was open. We were at the Apple Festival from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We always announce ahead of time where we're going to be out in the public. We were at the courthouse last Saturday night at 6 o'clock. We had a couple people show up that wanted to ask us about some issues that they had personally. I know Peggy spent about 45 minutes talking with someone, and I commend that lady for coming and using that as an opportunity to talk to Peggy. We have representatives at early voting from 8:30 in the morning until 5 o'clock every day. We have volunteers there that know our platform well, plus we have candidates there the entire time, so we are very accessible. The only people you'll see out there are the candidates from Team Waynesville. You'll see signs from our sitting council, but no people. Joey, I like how you described it about the basement situation. Maybe we should end with that. So my point is this: we're available. Come see us. We'd love to answer questions, talk issues. That's where we'll be. And like Peggy said, that's tomorrow and 6 days next week, Monday through Saturday. We're available.
I will close with this. I do think this is important. Look at all the meetings the current mayor and council have canceled. Like one this Tuesday was canceled because there were no agenda items. Of all the issues we've got going on in town and there are no agenda items, I would submit to you that they're trying the Joe Biden approach. They are in the cellar, in the basement, sticking their head down until election's over with and trying to let the media carry their water. Mm-hmm. And I will also submit to you it didn't work then, and it's not going to work now.
Yep.
Thank you.